Yeah, welcome to a different studio tour. Today I'm showing you 10 tricks in less than 10 minutes. It's not about synthesizers, it's about the small stuff. Like, where do you keep your pens and paper? Or where do you keep your cables? You don't see that ever in any of those studio videos, but I got this studio desk here with loads of 19-inch drawers where I keep all of my cables, and this is totally necessary. And down there, all my power adapters, of course. Then while we're here, I also got this for my headphones. So this is actually retractable. I also got this on the other side. And then I got all kinds of mounts, like this is a NATO rail. Here's some magic arms and photo equipment. Loads of them. Then here are a few more NATO rails under the table, so you can move stuff like this. This is what it looks like from the other side. So you can get everything out of the way. Yeah, then I'm using tons of clamps. Here's another one with a magic arm. I screwed that one straight to the table. Then back here I'm using a magnet. So this is for the most space-saving solution. Here's another magic arm, a slightly shorter one, and another clamp. And then under the table I'm using these wall mounts for the controllers and for the PlayStation 5. Yeah, let's talk about lights. I'm using 3 of those Joby lights. They're not the greatest, they turn themselves off if they run too hot, but they're controllable via Bluetooth, and that's really handy. I'm using this all the time. Then I got this ring light here. You can make it more orange or dark and bright. I got some LED strips down here, which are really handy when it comes to reading stuff on all the pedals. This makes all the difference. And then I got another LED light over here to see what's happening on the drum pad. Again, you can make it more orange or dark. And last but not least, under the table, part of the Furman power conditioners is this. So this is really helpful if you want to see what's in all those drawers. Yep, love it. Yeah, Patchbays. I'm using 3 Samsung S Patch Plus. You can switch them from normal to through to half normal on the front. This is pretty unique. Then if I want to reroute my Nord drum from the chroma pedal over to the Vongo and Polyphrase delay, I just do this. So no crawling under the table, rerouting cables or anything. That's it. I got everything labeled, of course, because this is a total of 144 cables leading into the back. So let's take a look at the nasty back. I'm running audio over RJ45, so you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is this? This uses 1 Ethernet cable, and it's lockable, of course, instead of 4 audio cables. So we'll connect this in a second, but let's take a look at the cables first. These are 32 audio cables, even a thinner ones, and they're replaced by 8 Ethernet cables. This saves me a lot of space, especially since I'm already running a lot of audio cables down here. So if I can free up some space, it's more than welcome. This is already such a mess. Oh yeah, and while we're here, I strongly recommend these holders that are really handy if you want to keep everything in place. Yeah, and then I had these boxes commissioned. They're using regular picture frame holders on the back and 19-inch rack rails on front. And this is how I got all of those in. Yeah, and this is another connector on the other side of the room, connected via a 10-meter Ethernet cable. It's from Stairville, and note that it's not compatible with the SSS snakes from Thomann. Speaking of cables, I got everything labeled, of course. I used like 60 meters of labeling tape. This goes into the spec exam, and then behind that are the Samsung Patchbays. Yeah, using Velcro tape helps a little, but basically everything that goes from this end of the table to the other end of the table over there uses the RJ45 cables. So let's connect these. Now it's all connected. This only took like 5 minutes because I documented everything really well. And you might notice these cables. Usually when I have to pull the table to the front, I just unhinge these and then they bounce like that, and to prevent them from dragging the cables out of the patch base, I'm using these steel cables to hold them in place. So that's a neat little trick. Now everything is back in place, all is tidied up, it's all tight and safe. And you might notice I'm using quite a lot of line isolation boxes. This is because whenever you use something with USB power, for example here HDMI or the black box, it produces a hum, and the line isolation boxes are lifesavers. This is another Craneborn Audio cast connection to my summing mixer. It uses Ethernet again. Yeah, doesn't produce any noise. Yeah, I got over 70 devices in my studio that somehow need power. So I'm separating the blue audio lines from the red power lines. I got clean power from 3 Furman power conditioners, each with 11 to 20 volt outlets, again documented really well. I got USB power, 10 times 2 ampere. You can't use these for audio devices, but it's great for all the lights. Then I'm using several pedal power supplies, like this one here from Voodoo Labs, with 8 outlets from 9 to 12 volt. I'm using a few more from Seox, well, with 16 outlets ranging from 9 volts to 15 volt. I got all my pedals connected to that, and a couple of synths that only need like 12 volt and 2 ampere. And that's the mess in the back. Let's take a look at the front again. Yeah, I got quite a lot of gear by now, and you're probably asking yourself, how do you remember all the settings and knobs? And the answer is, of course, I don't. I programmed a MIDI controller, the Fader Fox over here, so everything is in the same place. If I want to change the volume of the LXR, I switch to LXR and change the volume. And if I want to change the volume of the Orbit 9090, I switch to Orbit and change the volume like that. And if I want to change a preset of the Prophet, for example, this is the program change, and if I turn this knob, I change the presets over here. As easy as that. So I can basically sit on my couch with that little thing and change everything from there. Also, some of the pedals use MIDI, like the Vongon and the Chroma, and I got these programmed as well. Backups. If you make music or run a YouTube channel with over 2000 videos, you get a lot of data. So let's follow this cable into my kitchen, where I'm using the cheapest Mac Mini there is. This is an M2, but it got a 10 gig Ethernet connector, so copying 100 gigabytes over this thing takes like 1 minute. I also got 16 terabytes of RAID storage and another 20 terabytes of other storage, and a touchscreen, so I can control everything from here. This is very handy as well. Yeah, that's it for today. This is basically a studio in one desk that is 2 meter 10 by 96 centimeters. I got to save space wherever I can, but I'm really enjoying the setup. If you do too, please leave a like, subscribe for more stuff like it, and see you again next time. Bye!